Hi everyone, it's Razyel Kayne, and welcome to the night shift. And I'm your host. And you saw me. I forgot to upload the intro because I have to switch it every week. Because I want to add the thumbnail about the actual guest that I'll have on the show. So yeah, there you go. This live mess up. It's like old live television where shit would go wrong and everybody would find it hilarious. So I hope you guys can laugh at that. How's everybody doing? It's been a good week for anyway in my community of fandoms and stuff I like. There's been a lot of good news, a lot of weird things that came out, interesting choices for figures. The pre-orders for the stuff we talked last week came out this Tuesday. So yeah, might as well just go over that right now. Let's go with the sponsor. So there you go. This is everything we spoke of last week, and it's now on pre-orders. Krenix, Skywarp, Wheeljack, Shockwave, Sunstreaker, uh, Astral Train Snarl, and the Matrix. Now, a bit of news. I'm not sure if I don't remember if I talked about it last week, but when you open the Matrix, it plays the touch by Stan Bush. Doesn't get better than that. It's a huge price though for Canada, 159.99. It's pretty steep, but I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy that. I'm not ordering it, but I would really much like to have it. Not gonna lie. Hey, what's up, Double D? My guest last week had a great time. Happy to see you again today. One thing I realize is I need more water when I'm doing these live stream because half hour by myself talking, I my throat just dries up so bad. So yeah, I want to point out that for the ordering image, they still did not fix Astro Train properly. That's still the bad chest with the nipples. So I wish they would kind of just fix that for up, like we've seen better pictures of that. But yeah, and then a couple of things. If you're this is amazing. I'm huge Contra player. Like I still play the original NES Contra to this day. Um, it's such a good game. It's nostalgia. It's just great. But then you can either buy one or the other, Bill Riser or Lance Bean, or you can get the duo pack, which I don't think you're saving a lot of money on that. But you can get the Contra dudes, except that they're in kind of not their blue pants and red pants. That's the like army look. But it's cool because it gets with it get this is like the fire effect. And then you get the machine gun, so you can get the machine gun upgrade or the fireball upgrade. Different faces had a knife, which you've never used a knife, and then with Bill you get the spread shot and the laser beam, so the S and the L, and then you get a pop up balloon too. Like but it's $227 if you want to get both. That's crazy. Hey, Brick Builder Prime, thanks for stopping by. How you doing? Fishy, good to see you. So yeah, you can get the Contra guys. But then if you want just individually, you can get the blue pants with the exact same accessory. Look at that. Kind of looks like Arnold, right? And then if you go with Lance, you kind of have the Rambo face. Like this is unofficial, but it's Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Yeah, you don't think it's good, Soundwave? It's I don't know, man. It's still pretty classic and it's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's something that you can pre-order at DJC. You can get the RoboCop ED209 in 112 scale. Now that's a really good looking robot. I know Patriot Prime has a version of this. I don't know which one it is, but that's iconic. Like it's fantastically good looking. And of course, you can get the RoboCop. Well, it's RoboCop 2. So, Maybe you can disassemble him to do that scene where they all chop him off. Anyway, you got some turtle stuff. Oh, the Battlestar Galactica Tetrajet, or whatever they called it, the Colonial Viper. And then you have other figures too. New arrivals. And then look at this incoming product. So that's like within 2 weeks, but that was scheduled for May. So you can get Scourge, but yeah, like 3 months in advance. So maybe the others figure that we're supposed to go in May, maybe they'll arrive sooner too. Hopefully that. And then you can get your Super 7-0 ring. Back to the Future, Marty, and Doc Brown. So that's pretty cool. And then you have the usual other stuff. Don't forget, you saw it on the banner at the bottom. You can get your 10% discount code for anything Transformers. So, if you want to collect finish your collection, go ahead, add to DJC Collectible and have some fun. And here's my favorite roommate, Ultra Megatronus. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. All right. I'm gonna move into the topic. So let's go. Maybe I'm going too fast. Anyway, this is the DJC stuff. You guys enjoy and have fun. And now let's go with the topic. There you go. All right. What I want to talk about this week quickly is toy versus screen accuracy. I always use the term toon accuracy or cartoon accuracy because I'm a G1 cartoon collector. I want that fantastic poster to be completed. I was trying to find a link earlier to the to see you a picture of that poster. But for some reason, when you try to do that at the last minute, it's kind of hard and you don't find it. So anyway, I'll try to get a picture up next week. Hey Quentin, you're not late, man. The show's running for an hour and a half, so plenty of time to say hi. So yeah, toy versus cartoon accuracy, or what's your favorite type of toys? Uh, I always call myself a character collector. I like the character I've seen in the cartoon, right? But you can also be a Bayverse movie collector, and you want to have that screen look. So I think that's why the term screen accuracy is better, unless you're talking about a comic, and then you want to have the page accuracy or the drawing accuracy. So that being said, I'm more of a cartoon accuracy, right? So, guys like this who are fantastic, cartoon accurate to a degree. He's kind of big, but he's worth it. This guy here, fantastic. This is very cartoon accurate. Can't complain about this figure. It's a KO, but it's, really good. But then I came across, not gonna lie, the greatest Transformer I ever bought. If I hope you saw my review, because I have to say I've been complaining about views for the past 6 months, but I'm close to 700. Maybe I'm over 700 now. I haven't checked in 5 minutes. But the review for my bingo toys, Strafe. Now, it's not a cheap figure, it's bigger, but this is no joke the best Transformer I ever bought. Usually my masterpiece figures, I don't play with them, I don't transform them because it's complex, it's long. I'm on this guy 24/7. Like, it's just so good. And I've even missed a few things, like the cockpit apparently opens up. I missed that. Didn't see that. And another guy commented that you can do something with the hand when he's in robot mode. But anyway, it's a great figure. I love this guy. I can't wait for the other four. But the thing is, he's not really cartoon accurate, right? He's a stylized version. I kept saying that he was oversized version for the scale. Somebody mentioned that this is a DLX scale. So I know 30 has the MDLX and the DLX scale. So if it's something similar, yeah. So what's important to you? I mean, I've except for a few like the combiners, most of my combiners are stylized version, oversized version, um, because I want my combiners to tower over everything I have on the shelves. This Computron that's coming from Bingo Toys, it's going to be 20-inch tall, maybe more. Um, it's going to be huge. It's fantastic. It's stylized. It's important. A lot of people will prefer the screen accuracy look, but there's a fair share of collectors that will prefer the stylized version, the bigger version. But then, as I say this, everybody's fawning over the new Magic Square set that's been announced. They're gonna do their own Computron, Technobots, Legend scale, in very, I have to say, very cartoon accurate color. I have, and look. So I'm not gonna get those because I'm already getting the Bingo toys. I don't need a lot of duplicates. But I think it's worth mentioning that Magic Square will have. I'll show you a couple pictures during the news segment. Uh, so yeah. So what do you guys think? Finer than you might. Yeah, I still like the Fire and Ice. And then you might like the animated movie Turok, Son of Stone. All right, let me note that because I have a poor memory sometimes. And I've been binging on like old 80s, 70s animated movie these days. Um, like the Les Maîtres du Temps, the Time Lords, or the Master of Time, like old French movie was fantastic. Turok, Son of Stone. All right, I'll take a look at that. Thank you, Quentin. Hey, Ghost Max, thanks for stopping by. The Technobots look bigger than I thought it would be. It's huge. This thing is in scale with Jetfire. It's just a maybe a bit shorter than the Siege Jetfire, but it's going to be huge and it's fantastic. Apparently there's an animated Turok. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's Turok the Dinosaur Hunter though. So you guys sort it out. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I want to know if right in the comment, to anybody who watched this or in the chat, what's important for you? Is it screen accuracy? Is it cartoon accuracy? What do you hunt? Do you prefer very stylized version or cleaner? Less detailed, maybe less busy figures. I've heard that term before. When a figure is too busy, especially when it comes to paint application, sometimes a figure can be a little. Heavy on paint apps and temper graphs and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's stuff to consider. Um, all right, that's the 15-minute mark. Let's go to the news. All right. So the USA pre-orders for the Overgear Evangelion or Evangelion, I don't know how it's like the Final Fantasy Jill versus Gil. Anyway, the Overgear Ironhide, Blackout, the AME01 Prime, so that's the Evangelion, and the Grimlock Missing Link, sorry, are going on pre-orders. Pictures we've seen before, so many pictures. Actually, that's a good looking. It's kind of shattered glass. I'm colorblind. Could be another color. I don't know, but that does look kind of good. And we talked about this last week. I mean, it's fantastic. This is a great, great paint job for Grimlock. Not gonna lie. All right. What's this? Translated Transformers. I've been sick the whole week. Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, translated end of the G1 Universe episode 2, the Prime Arrow webcomic. So, okay, translated, and then you can see that it's kind of pasted over, like it's not an original print. Kind of odd, but you have like 36 page on tformers.com. So go ahead and read that if you're a comics fan, like Fishy. Uh, all right. Okay, this blew up well, in my circles, that blew up. Monstructor. So it's another divisive figure. Some people say, oh no, it should have been a HasLab. I heard that on Transformers, the show, this afternoon. So yeah, a lot of people are saying that this could have been a HasLab. I know the Leo Kaiser was successful to a degree. The This is a remold, not just a repaint of Dino King and the Legacy Car Class Dinobots, which I have. Well, my son does have them with the DNA designed upgrade kit and toy hacks decal. So this is going to be, I think that's going to sell out because this is, to my knowledge, the first Hasbro um, Monstructor in since the 80s, right? Big axe. So, different weapons than what we had with well, we didn't have any weapons with the core class version. I mean, the colors are what I recognize from Monstructor. That's gonna be over $100 set probably. Because each bot was about, I don't know, $15, maybe $12 in the US. So, you know, 120, yeah, probably not. It's gonna be expensive. But I think this looks great. Let's vote now. And then you can do that on Tformers. You can vote. And there's always like a bunch of downer which are lame and anyway. But this looks good. Transformation video. I'm not gonna look at that. All right, Windblade and RC in the pre-orders for Flame Toys. Uh, and it's I want to say like the childish face for RC. It's kind of a cute anime doll, of course, with bigger tits. Because and these, okay, you look at these action pose, those are sexy action pose, right? Completely useless in combat, which to me does not represent RC because she is a fighter. She can beat pretty much anybody, but they just do like, what's this? Hey, Clinical, man, how you doing? So it's I don't like the too sexy figure. I mean, these figure look good, Windblade as well, but again, like this is a sexy fighting pose, completely useless in combat. But she does have nice colors. She does have the two blades. I mean, Flame Toys, they do some amazing work. But I mean, I don't remember them posing Hot Rod like that, right? So, and it comes with a stance, two sword, two hands, and then they can fight each other or mud wrestle or whatever you want them to do. What else do we have? Again, overgear stuff. Okay, the Walmart Collector Con. Now, funny thing, I'm gonna piss off a lot of people. The U.S. Soccer Federation. So you guys do understand the word soccer, right? I mean, it's football. I've heard a fantastic statistic from Trevor Noah talking to Jerry Seinfeld, and this is old. The Super Bowl, the greatest American pay-per-view event, or like it's super popular. And when the Super Bowl plays, you get about 100 million viewership or ratings or whatever you want to call it. You get 100 million of that, right? And that's considered good. But then worldwide, you take one soccer match, not a finale, not a tournament, just a regular league game, and you get 400 million people watching. So clearly, soccer is the football, right? That's the one you play with foot. Anyway, I'm just pulling everybody's leg. But the Collector Con, so you have the Walmart Star Eagle. So that's very American looking. I know plenty of my friends are going to get that. If they make a Canadian version, I'll get it, But Yeah, and they probably should have resculpt the head to be an eagle instead of a peregrine falcon. But that's just me. And then they have the soccer ball Optimus Prime. I yeah, it's a soccer ball Optimus Prime. But anyway, you can get that in March for the spring collector con from Walmart. The Lio Kaiser packaging. Oh, so it is. Okay, I was talking about that earlier. So there you go. You have your package look at Lio Kaiser, and it looks good. I mean, hopefully it's not another uh, bait and switch like we've had in the past. So yeah, Super Bowl is overrated to me. Gave Apollo Sport minus WWE, which is sport entertainment. But rather watch that drama. Yep, wrestling is better. Wouldn't it be a moose for Canada? Yo, that's an easy joke. No, if we're gonna have a transforming Canadian animal icon, I want my freaking beaver. I want my freaking beaver. All right. Sorry, I'm dehydrating. Um, so you have the pre-orders for what we talked about last week. Again, with the mistransformed images. This is terrible. Okay, this. So this is ENIAC Combiner Project. So that's Magic Square. This is going to look amazing. I'm not a big hey, the guest is in the chat. So 8 minutes and I'm with you. Yeah, this is a great looking Computron. Magic Square, I have two figures of them now and never been disappointed. It's really good. So they're going to make another great combiner. You're going to have pants that you're going to have to, acquire separately probably or wait for the box set. But these guys are going to look really good. But like I said, I already have my bingo toys, so I'm good. I'm showing my bingo toys because I just love this guy. So there you go. That scatter shot with a slightly less apparent phallic device. And then he does still transform with so he's a triple changer. I mean, he's not acknowledged as one, but that's a different alt mode. That's a turret. You have Afterburner. He's gonna look good. Love that. And then this one is Strafe. And then you're gonna have Lightspeed. Lightspeed always reminded me of Turbo, right? And then Nose Cone. Now, anybody agrees with me that Nose Cone is the odd part here? You have one big spaceship, you have one like super flying fast vehicle like Strafe, you have like a speed bike and a sports car, and then you have a drill, right? Drill. I don't know. I think they could have made. I mean, I love No Scout, but I think they could have made a different, maybe more original, like that stays in the team of the Technobot. So because that's a Constructicon basically. All right, Orion packs. What's this? Okay, TF1 Orion packs with a big. Oh, that's actually a cool weapon. Big pizza cutter. So you have that. Transformer G1 Chokin Formers Kitsy Hobby Shop exclusive announced. I have no clue what this. Oh, there's a Sunstreaker. Oh, I have to get that. God damn it. It's Hobby Shop new series called Choke on Formers. So choke on this. All right, I'm probably gonna try to get that from AliExpress. Dude, it's cool though. First thing I see about this, a Soundwave and a Sunstreaker, something different, not the grade 6. Okay, so that's the non-translated. So if you read Chinese or Japanese, oh no, it is. So why are we seeing this news twice? Hold on. Green call. How many pictures are there? 36. All right. So I guess, I don't know. He printed it twice on his news because it's kind of the same as here. Anyway, you have the concept art for the Matrix of Leadership, which plays the touch. I mean, can't deny that that's going to be a fantastic. Like, how many freaking shorts are we going to have of TF YouTubers just pulling on that, playing the touch? Like, everybody's going to do it. And if I get it, I'll do it myself too, you know? Again, Overgear News. That's the stream. So we're getting in last week's stuff. So yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm done for the news for Tformers. Icon Collectibles. You know I love these guys. I'm not gonna get this figure because it is $98, so I'm gonna hold on that. But that's the new John Carter of Mars with this thing. I've never read. I don't know if that's a movie, a comic, or anything. I just know it's a Frank Frazetta design. From a painting, and this looks really good. You have different hairstyle, you know. So this is like 80s 80s heartthrob. That's so freaking hilarious. That's totally an 80s heartthrob, like, you know, it's like Fabio type of pictures. It's just so funny. Then we have a hat, and then this is more like normal. So, plenty of head and hairpiece, hands, the pistol and everything. So go ahead and get your Frazetta girls. Icon Collectibles, John Carter of Mars. That's going to look fantastic. And then this is one thing I wanted to show off. I hope it's still there. Skybound Comics, Mask #1. So now Skybound in the Energon universe will have Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask all together. I think I'm missing one too. I think there's another one. Anyway, so you have all of these universe put together, all of those 80s toy line. Um, I've never watched, like I've explained this before. I don't watch a lot of Masks. In it just didn't play in the area I grew up North Quebec. So I'm not attached to that, so I'm not getting that, but it's making a lot of people happy. And I think one thing I found with with Skybound is that what they do is they make 50,000 #1 cover to boost sales, or maybe it's a fear of missing out on collectibles thing, so that they're promoting to have different artists doing their take on Mask #1. And then if you're a hardcore collector, you can get, like, there's even blank version where you can get the artist at some Comic Con to draw it for you. So, anyway, looks good. But it's just not for me. So there you go. All right, I've delayed enough. Let's bring in my guest, which I'm gonna set up the scene first because it never works properly, and then they end up showing in my outro, and it's goofy. There you go. And then we have the input with us. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, man, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. I have a bit of a sore throat, as you can tell, and I've been kind of stuffy all week. My son was sick at some point. I don't even remember. I know I didn't sleep on that night, so yeah, but so a little sick, had a long day, but still here. How about you, man? We haven't catched up in a while.
So let's catch up.
All right, let's do that. What have you been up to in the past 6 months?
Um, Geez, man, I don't know. I don't even know, like, really where to begin. I've been a lot of my focus has been rebuilding, like, the girlfriend's old car since she bought that Mini Cooper. She wanted to
Okay.
keep her old Corolla, and so a lot of my attention has been on that. And as far as like extracurricular stuff, but like just in general, just living life, man. Just out there just doing stuff.
So you're
Um,
keeping busy.
yeah, more or less.
All right, sounds good. I know you still do the those shorts, about your the place you're working at allows you to film, cool figures and gimmicks and stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty much all the channel is now. It's just I'll just take like a random figure that I like or toy or whatever it is and do like a little showcase, spin it around, put some music to it, just something real simple, real easy. Or I'll do like retro toy gimmicks or something where I think uh a gimmick's like really, really cool and just show it, shooting the missile, spraying the water, whatever out of the whatever it is, just basically showing what it does.
All right. So, and what? Well, hold on. Let's do this proper. All right. What I always ask first,
Okay.
any of my guests, is you're 4, 5, 6 years old. What's your
Okay.
first love?
Um Jesus. Anything
Well, okay. Let's
like
let's let's go with toys or cartoons or stuff that really obsessed you or really started something with you.
um jeez. Okay. I would say around that age, like growing up, I was always like super heavy into like television. So um around that age, that would probably be like Jim and the Holograms.
Nice.
That was on syndication. I loved that show, that cartoon as a kid. Mighty Max, um,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
uh, Biker Mice from Mars,
Yeah.
uh, the G1 Transformer reruns. There were like, that kid that had like the giant Optimus Prime or whatever.
Oh, so
Um,
before G2.
yeah, like the
We
G2
never
cart.
had that version. So how was that?
It was the G1 cartoon, but it was just shown out of order. So there were like, the like the episode was it two-parter War Dawn where aerial bots and Sunicons get made and stuff, right?
Oh, that's
Um
the Key to Vector Sigma, yeah.
or Key to Vector Sigma, yeah, sorry. Like that was shown out of order. So like you would have the Stunticons just show up in like episode like 12 and then the Key to Vector Sigma part 2 would be like episode 17 and like all of it was just shown out of order. So but as a kid it was like kind of easy to piece together, it was something like, okay, well this is like a prequel episode. This takes place, whenever it takes place in the timeline, whatever, and I kind of dissected it that way. Um, but anything cartoons from that era, or Nickelodeon from that era, where Rugrats, Clarissa Explains It All, anything, Doug, Batman the animated series, X-Men the cartoon animated series, Spider-Man the animated series, like anything that would that would grab my imagination as a kid. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter what kind of cartoon it was. I mean, Barney, Sesame Street, Eureka's Castle. Um,
Don't
you
know
can't
that
do
one.
that on television. Like that was a big one for me.
Okay.
Um, because Nickelodeon had a bunch of reruns of that was airing down here at the time.
Okay.
Um, Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters cartoon. Like I said, anything that grabbed my imagination, and that went for like that went for toys, that went for whether it was gimmicks or I would buy action figures because of the gimmick and how it could play with like other toys from other lines, right?
Okay. So you were like a gimmick, playability focused kid.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, and I guess like as an adult looking back on that, it kind of made me um kind of opened up a world where I could explore, right? Like how does this, how does Beast make this backpack for Optimus Prime to go fight, Magneto or whatever. Like that's how my brain worked as a kid. Just
Okay. Crossover.
um, and then or like oh my god, dude, the color changing GI Joes, like the I forgot what is it the Ozone whatever. There's a character in there called Ozone. It was like
Right.
um and like Captain Planet. And I had a bunch of I had some Captain Planet figures that would interact with those GI Joes.
I
You know,
didn't even know that they had Captain Planet figures.
yeah, they did. They had, I wouldn't say a lot, but they had quite a few.
Okay.
Um,
That's cool.
so yeah, that's just how my brain works, and that's kind of how when it comes to like collecting and stuff now. Like I know a lot of people, you know, about scale and stuff like that and everything, but um my brain doesn't operate like that. It's still very much the way it was as a kid, like
Yeah. Well, I think
um
older collector now, yes, we were more focused about screen accuracy and scale and stuff like that. But I think kids are still looking for that playability when they actually play with their toys now, because it's all TV and tablets now.
yeah.
But yeah, so no, but keep going. That's cool.
Um even as an adult right now, like I like that Masterverse line, the He-Man Masterverse line, and I collect that. But I won't say like my biggest gripe was like it's 7-inch scale or whatever, but like that new line that's coming out that's 6 inches. I'm looking forward to that Skeletor because I have the Mafex Dr. Fate coming in, the one that's based off of the Black Adam movie.
Right.
And like I want to build a diorama where Skeletor is fighting Dr. Fate. They're both magic users. They're both very up there in terms of power, how powerful they are and stuff, right? So to have that as like a diorama, I think would be like super cool. That's like that, like I said, that part of my brain never shut off from my childhood.
So
Just
that's
having
why you went into, I guess, stop motion as well, like as you could explore what you could do with figures, or was that something separate?
um that was kind of like my girlfriend's fault. Like I've always been like a student of animation and the way things is done and everything. And just one day I was playing with oh, what is it? Who was it? One of the Minosaur, Combiner War Minosaur guys,
Okay.
Stunticon. I don't remember which one it was, um, but I was playing with them, and my girlfriend was like, "You should do a stop motion," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, absolutely." And I did like a little 5-second thing where he peels out, transforms, and he's just like, "We're here for Motor Master" or whatever it was, and
Okay.
um but then that kind of gave me an outlet um to do stop motion. Like stop motion animation as a whole gave me an outlet for a lot of stuff that was happening in my life at the time. Like a lot of like the anger, a lot of the way I was feeling about a lot of stuff at the time, it gave me an
Okay.
outlet for that. And and I think because the way my brain operates uh with like characters and like the action figure and stuff like that,
Right.
I think I was able to make my own characters and place them in that world, and kind of like as an avatar, I guess, you know, kind
Yeah.
of uh
But
put myself
over
into that world and
yeah.
you
Over,
know.
I remember over time you built a fantastic universe. Like I remember watching like the season 4, season 5 stuff that you were doing, but then it moved to the Wreckers and Huffer being the leader of the Wreckers, and then you did your custom yellow jacket, and now that was the series, and it was so good. I really digged what you had created. It was really fun.
I appreciate that, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Um that was Ultra Marcus's uh Damn, try to say that 3 times fast. There's like 4 S's at the end of that, right?
Yeah.
Um, I did the deep cover. I did like a little short of deep cover, and that's where that started. And I just sent it to him because we were sending stop motions back and forth to each other, like not trying to outdo each other, but or anything like that. But it was like, you know, like picking each other's brains.
Yeah,
Right.
he understood what you were doing. You understood what he was doing. So you were bouncing ideas and just showing, okay, I was able to do this, and then he was showing you other stuff. And yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. So I sent him deep cover, and I wasn't gonna put it out there or anything. I was just, like it was like a test animation, if anything, right? And he's like, dude, you have something there. Like you should really expand on that. And I was just kind of like, and I told him, I said, well, if I do, I don't know, like, and he just kind of cut me off. I was like, no, you should, like that. There's something definitely there. There's a story that needs to be like waiting to be told,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
He was right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the deep cover stuff was really good. And then, I enjoyed. I remember one of my favorite scene was when one of the Decepticon was being interrogated, and Prowl just jumped over the table and slammed him, and that was so well done. Like the motion was really well done. So I really enjoyed that it stuck to my brain. And I remember also you did, like, the Stunticons were in like a sports place or like a racing track, and they were talking on the benches, but then you had Drag Strip just doing lap. And then you would vroom, and I'm like, it was just a little silly. Just he's just not part of the conversation, just doing laps, So,
Yeah.
but you did it really, really well. So that
I
was fun.
appreciate that.
Yeah, but but you kind of, you did it for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you put it aside, and was it writer's block or just time or?
So it was a lot of things. I actually still have the scripts of all of that. Like Yellow Jacket has been scripted out. All 10 episodes are scripted out. There is a finale for Yellow Jacket.
Okay.
But there was so much happening in my life at that time. With like a tree fell on our house.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
And then the house needed to be repaired, and that took forever. And then there was a point, where I lost one of my dogs.
Yeah.
And that absolutely crushed me. And so I didn't feel like doing anything with any of that at all, like whether it was stop motion or YouTube or anything, where it didn't matter what it was, like going out to eat. I was like, I just didn't really want to leave the house. I didn't want to do anything. So, and then, yeah, it was just, like I said, just like so much life stuff. And then, then I just wasn't at the house all the time, and I started getting busy. I started working outside of the house, because during COVID and while I was making all that, I was working at home. So I wouldn't say it was easy to do, but it was a lot easier to do, like to find time to do it, right?
When you don't have, when you don't have to pay for gas and you don't have to drive to work, and you're, instead of coming home at 5, you're already at home at 4. That's an extra hour that you can work on your own stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
So it might not be easier, but there's more available time. So
right.
It's worth it.
Right. And then we got a really good deal on the house that because we were renting the house at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the landlord was just, he was trying to move back to his home country and everything. And he sold us the house. So, to afford the house, I sold something like 85% of my collection.
Oh, okay.
So I kept a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do, like to keep Yellow Jacket, like a lot of the characters and stuff that I wanted to use later on. Um, I kept a lot of that stuff. I kept Yellow Jacket himself. Um, but even now, like I think the last stop motion I did was that Batman one.
Yeah, I
Where
remember that Batman stuff. It was really well done.
thank you. Um, and that was, man, what, a year ago? And I keep writing scripts, man, for everything. Like for second episode to that, I like Yellow Jacket's finished, and then I have like the series that comes after that. I have episodes for that scripted out. Um, I never, as far as like all the stop motion stuff, like my brain never stops. I will go for my morning run, and a song will just play, random song, doesn't matter what it is, and all of a sudden there's a 3-minute fight scene in my head that I can see clear as day. And then the lines as I'm running start coming into my head for that 3 minutes, and then as I'm finishing up my run, I've planned out the entire scene. Like there's 6 or 7 minutes of animation that I've planned out, and I go home, covered in sweat and yuck and everything else, and I just start writing, 'cause I don't want to
Yeah,
forget
that's
it.
the best time.
Yeah.
You know
I
that
have I put like music cues in there. I put like, when, like, what part of the song should play. I'll listen to the song, and then I'll find like, um oh man, this song, like I love the song, but it's not heavy enough for the scene. Is there like a metal version? Like, is there like a metal band that covered it? So I'll do like a deep dive in the music, like covers or whatever, to see if there's like a heavier version of the song or a softer version of the song or something like that.
okay?
Um, but it never stops.
Well, that's kind of what I do that with my Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So I don't know. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, I stopped with 3.5 is my game. Like, it is my version that I play.
Yeah,
And
I
I've been,
played a lot of Advanced Second Edition. That
okay.
was what me and my friends played a lot. But then we did a bit of 3.5. We hated fourth edition, but now with the new fifth edition and the revised 2024 rules, it's not as good as second edition, but it's it's not bad. And we've been playing a lot of that. But when I do my quest, I have a hard time getting to sleep every night. I have to forget that I have to sleep. So I'll be thinking about my quests and what I should have my players do. And then eventually I fall asleep. And then most of the time I remember in the morning, oh yeah, I thought about this, and that. And then I'll do. So that's how I'm creative, like at 8 in the morning and then 11 p.m. at night. That's my window.
I get that. There have been nights where I sleep with a notepad in the drawer next to the bed. And there have been nights at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like I just wake up and I have this idea and I got to write it down because I know if I go back to sleep, I'll forget it.
All right. Follow-up question. Because a lot of people that do that will do that for dreams. Do you remember a lot of your dreams?
I'd say like maybe 60% of them. Yeah.
Oh, that's huge, man. I forget most of my dream. Like I'll wake up, oh, that was a good dream, and my brain goes, "What dream?" And then I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's gone."
Yeah. I'll wake up and it'll like 60% of the dream will still be there. And I'm like, how did I get over there? And
Yeah,
like I know I did something to get over that chasm or whatever it was, right? That cavern or whatever. But
yeah. But
um
yeah, dreams are it's when you wake up you realize all the stuff that's messed up. Like what that wasn't my house. That's it's yeah. So it's the but it's cool, man. 60% of your dream. That's pretty impressive. A lot of people just don't remember any of their dreams. I'll remember mostly my nightmares.
I
That's
don't rem- I don't remember. The only nightmare that I remember, I was probably like 10, maybe 8, something like that. And Freddy Krueger was chasing me,
that's
and,
the worst.
and I was running for dear life. And then there's something in my brain clicked and was like, no, this is your dream. You can control this. So I made him chase me into a swamp, and Swamp Thing's hand grabbed him by the foot, and then this, Swamp Thing like basically saved me. And I remember forcing that to happen in my dream.
That's cool. That's really cool. I've once or twice I've been able to take control of my dream. But most of the time I realize I'm dreaming and then I kind of panic. And then my wife wakes me up because I'm like muffled scream, like
Yeah.
because my mouth's closed. And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and I can hear myself in the dream screaming like that. And then she wakes me up and I'm okay. But yeah, I had some crazy nightmare dreams. It's kind of it's I wish I could remember more. Like I wish I could record them. Like, they've been working on machines like that in Japan or around the world where they could actually allow you to record your dream and play it back to you.
Wasn't that a Twilight episode in the 50s? Like that
Oh,
idea has been out for a
absolutely.
while. Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of people or remember that Christopher Walken movie where they man, I don't remember the name, but they're able to record um like just people, like as people are walking in the street, they have like a machine plugged in and then records everything they see. But then it turns out that they could also record when you're dying and
What?
what your mind goes through. And so he follows his dead wife or something, going like past hell and going through her memories. And it was a messed up movie. I don't remember the name. If anybody in the chat remembered the name of that movie, um, you have to watch that. You probably will enjoy it.
That sounds up my alley. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. It's Christopher Walken. I don't remember the title. Like I don't I know it's not Brain Scan, but it could be Brain Scan.
Okay.
Anyway, but it's yeah, it was kind of messed me up for a while, like when I was really young when I saw that because it's like they kind of show pictures of hell and yeah, that's pretty it was pretty weird. So, yeah, but good stuff. So I know you've changed your channel a couple times. We met. You were doing Tales of Teletron, which was a really good idea to have a guest every week discuss an episode. You double D and Pack. No, what was his name?
There's a couple people on the show, but like, the main ones were basically like me and Danny. Like
Yeah.
that was like our show. Um but yeah, that show was pretty fun to do. Um and then it just then me and Danny just kind of
Well, I know
did like a
she
different one.
yeah, she got busy on Saturday, so it was harder
Yeah.
for her to do it. And so yeah, I know you tried to do the headmasters for a while,
Yeah.
and then after that, it kind of dwindled off. There was a Facebook group, but I know it's not you that ran that.
No. I think if I remember right, it was the girlfriend and Ninja Bill
Okay.
that 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 ran the Facebook group. Um, and I'm not I want to say Ninja Bill, like he was a mod or something.
Probably. The
Brain,
Brainstorm is the movie I was talking about. Thank you. Quentin knows movies, man.
but yeah, that's basically like like everybody just kind of got, you know, Tails. Tails was a victim of the world opening up again, you
Yeah.
know. Um
Well, yeah.
and just, everybody, you got to go back to work. You got to pay the bills. Those gimmicks come every month, you know.
Yeah.
And then it just, people could do it when they could do it, and then it's just, it just became
Yeah.
me and
And
Danny. So
everything kind of changed. Like COVID changed everything, right? So when I started doing YouTube, and it was just before COVID, but everybody was in the chats everywhere. I mean, you had your show, Patriot Prime had the Citrep, Kato's had the Kato Present, Deluxe had the 30 minutes, Rodimus Primal was streaming every weekend. You had everybody, who's the guy? The Casual Toy Collector was doing, weekly streams. Rolling Redneck, Triple R was doing and stuff. Like there was chats everywhere, and we would all go chat with each other. Sometimes not even paying attention to what was on screen. We were just chatting with our buddies. You know,
yeah, yeah,
that's how I became friends with Memo. That's how, a lot like NY Hunter was the same thing, was through a stream. Like it was just, and then yeah, COVID kind of went away, and then everybody kind of stopped doing live streams. Like there's, Patriot Prime will do a sit rep once in a while. Deluxe still does a couple things. Like other people like me, Ultra Megatronus, and what's his name? I forget. Jimmy G, from The Good, the Bad, the Awesome. Like they do, something similar, but it's not catching on as much. Like, there's not like 50 people in every chat, just probably because people were bored out of their mind during COVID. So we had a way to connect. Like I remember there was a convention. Like I think it was a guy in the UK, Rudy Sizu, who did a
oh
like a
yeah,
online convention of like everybody had a schedule, like you're gonna stream at this hour, you're gonna stream at this hour. It was like the whole weekend. It was, different times, fun times. And then everything went to, back to the usual. And now our views, everybody's views. I don't know if you've stalked a lot of people, but everybody's views went down 75% in the last 9 months.
yeah. I mean, I did that. I did a live stream, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago, and I ended up deleting it because it got like 5 views total. And I was just like, well, okay. It was Toy Fair coverage, and I went over like the Transformers stuff and some of the
Right.
McFarlane stuff, um and I was like, well, Jesus, 5 views. Okay, well, yeah, that I'm not gonna keep this up. There's no point, you know. Um,
Yeah.
especially when everybody else has talked about it or covered it or whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
um, nothing I can really add to that conversation if you're not, willing to. If you're not willing to listen, then there's nothing I can add to the conversation. You
No,
know?
that's the thing. There's it's a like a dual problem. There's people have, I think, less time
Yeah.
to watch YouTube, and and probably a lot of people who were, young couples during COVID probably have kids now because of all the sex they had, and
Yeah.
they don't have time now to watch, and that's life. And but also I think there's an oversaturation. There was, when I joined YouTube doing Transformer stuff, it was an already saturated market, but now there's another reviewer every week.
Yeah, and
And
that's a big issue too. I go ahead. I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
no, I get it. It's a big issue because there's um there's a lot of people who are doing, like, I'll take Jimmy G as an example because I love the guy. But for a month or two, I was jealous of his growth. Like within a year, he hit 5,000. But he's a more diverse channel. He had and then he says that I inspired him because he was watching my stuff because of my thumbnails where I, do the point and, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's how. he got to know my channel, and then he started doing his own thing, and then he blew most of us out of the water, and he just hit 6,000 today, or yesterday, 6,000 subscribers. So that's kind of one of the odd one who's actually had a good, like a, I would say, for this day and age, a spectacular growth, for a tour reviewer channel. Because I mean, you could, if you want just to make money, you could do a game channel, and you probably would get more views than anything, than anything I'll produce anyway. Just because there's a lot more gamers than collectors out there, but that, we do toys. I'm trying to branch out though, just not doing Transformer. That's why I cover news. You saw, like, I
Yeah.
do the Frazetta girl, which is my love of Frank Frazetta is renewed 1,000-fold in the past year. Like, I've consumed so many of his drawings, figures. His granddaughter's stream, Sarah Frazetta, she's doing an amazing job at presenting her granddad once a month on YouTube. It's fantastic. So, like, I'm branching out to other stuff because I don't want to just be Transformers, not for the night shift anyway. Like, I want to interview, right now I'm doing YouTubers, but I want to branch out to anybody I find interesting, voice actors, sound designer, animators,
Yeah.
anything. So, because I just realized I just like talking to people. And my wife kindly reminded me that I like the sound of my own voice. So that's why I do the half hour first. Yeah.
I think your interview, like, seriously, your interviews with like Transformer voice actors and stuff, is definitely where, you know, like, hit the nail on the head kind of thing, right? Because
Yeah.
so many of those guys and gals, they're for us they're forever 30, right? Like, they
Yeah.
were 30 when we first heard them, they were 30. So, like, they're forever 30 in our mind. But, they're 70, they're 80, they're 65. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
they're they're kind of getting up there. And what you're doing there with interviewing all these guys and voice actors and stuff, um and actually giving them a voice outside of a convention was a really cool thing. Um because I could, when I went to TFCon and talking to those guys, it was, they have a love for what they do.
Yeah.
And I think it's really awesome that you were able uh were to show, like, broadcast that. Like, those interviews are out there forever now.
Oh yeah. And they actually still do well. I do get a comment once in a while on those interviews. I just want to say a new person showed up on the show. Eman's World of Geek. Saw
What's up,
him
E-Man?
last week or 2 weeks ago on Jimmy G. Great guy. So yeah, good content. So you guys check out his channel too. But thanks for checking out the show. Basically, what I do, Emens, is half an hour by myself where I plug my sponsor, I discuss a topic, and then I show the Tformer news. And then
What's
at
that
the half
sponsor
hour
again?
mark, I have a guest.
And who's that sponsor again?
Oh, that's a guy called Derek who opened a shop called DJC Collectibles.
You said FGC?
No, DJC Collectibles Input.
DJC Collectibles.
Yes, it's the greatest toy shop. And you know what now? Since last time we spoke, he now has the Target exclusive. What more could I want?
Well, a 10% off coupon code, of course.
Oh, I have that.
Oh.
My life is complete. Yeah, I've missed you. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, it's it's the yeah, YouTube is fun, but I kind of stopped doing the voice acting spotlight because that's just with the kid, and my energy's lower now. I don't have as much time. My son is 8 and he's a handful, and I want to spend time with my family. So it's kind of hard to do the 40 hours of research I usually did,
Yeah.
and then including writing the script and all of that. So But if I, eventually I will do it. But there's a couple actors that I want to bring in just for fun, just to chat. Uh, like example, Lindsay Russo, who did the voice of Elita One in the Netflix show. She's working on an indie movie right now, and it looks freaking fantastic. So I'm tempted to ask for an interview.
Do it.
Yeah, I have to get more gutsy. And
A closed mouth don't get fed, man. Do
no,
it.
I know it's exactly what Michael Bell had told me in the during our interview. He said just walk up to Greg Berger and just ask him. So yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's I have to get more gutsy. But there's I had a great time with every one of them. Like starting with John Machida Jr. He was so generous. Just started off like the moment I bring him on screen, and it's not planned. I bring him on screen, and then he does a fast talk for a minute straight. And I'm just laughing my ass off because I didn't expect it. So that was really, really freaking cool. And then, Michael Bell was great. Neil Ross. Neil Ross is a more serious type of guy to interview. He's a factual. We'll have stories. But I had a great time. Gary Chalk, David K. Twice. I tried to get him a third time, but then his publicist stopped replying to me. I'm like, I think I've stretched that elastic to the max. So
Yeah.
it just stuff that happens. And then this year I did a couple of in 2025 I did 3 actors from Cyberverse, which was fun. But then when I booked the interview, then I go on their IMDb page, and one of them had like 3 things. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to get creative on my interview, which I did. So,
And that's fine because I mean that they probably aren't used to that. Kind of gives them, some sort of like idea of like how to go into it.
yeah,
So that works. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and then
think I think you got gold with that stuff, man. Like legitimately. That's
yeah,
that's I find like the key um to doing YouTube, like any kind of long term, is like some sort of shock value, right? You give a hobo $100,000 or whatever, and then video pays for itself, and whatever. Like I said, some sort of shock value where people can interact or whatever, or some sort of rewatchable value.
yeah. My voice actor spotlight still get views. My voice actor interviews also still get views. So that's a good repeat thing. Like I mean, Chris Latta is still my second most popular video. And I think that's because he passed away young and people want to know about Starscream because everybody loves Starscream, right?
Yeah.
So the but my last interview was um I think it was no, not. I did Travis Art, Jessica Di Giovanni, who was fantastic. And fun thing, I'm talking to her, and then I go on her IMDb. She actually did a lot of stuff, and then I see this weird title called "Dream from a Petrified Head." I'm like, "What the hell is that?" Open it up. It's an indie movie, like a college project that some guy wrote and acted and starred in, and she's the co-star. Actually, I think she's more of the star, but and when I mentioned it, like her eyes like just went bright. Like she was so happy that because the movie's on YouTube and it has like I don't know 3,000 views, but it's a really interesting concept of a movie, and it was fun. So I had half an hour with her, and so used it, had fun. Travis Art was interesting, and Jeremy Levy as well, who is a voice coach, so I could go talk about that side of the business. So it's cool.
We went oh, I'm trying, dang it, man. I'm brain farting on his name. If I asked Oracle, she'll know it in a heartbeat, but I don't want to. Gosh, he was in Stand and Deliver. He was the teacher in Stand. Edward James Olmos, and we met him, and Man, he was going through like because he was in Battlestar Galactica, the remake,
Okay.
and all these like everybody that was there was like lined up for. They had all the Battlestar Galactica stuff, and you could just see it on his face. He was like, "Which one do you want?"
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and no, I'm not saying the line. Fuck off, like you could just tell, and when we got up there, and I was like, yo, dude, I loved you in Stand and Deliver. And that like he looked up from the table and was just like, what'd you say? And I was like, Stand and Deliver, man, one of the best movies, like it's top 5 movies for me. Like I love it. And from there it opened up. We stood there for like 30 minutes and just talked to the guy like
Yeah.
um about like how Oracle's parents used to be like farm workers and stuff in like the 60s and all that stuff, and he was too, and like just all kinds of stuff. And I was like, man, we're kind of taking up your time. And he was like, nah, man, don't worry about them. They'll still be here. Like this is, he was just having like the time of his life, and you could just see that spark, whatever, like come back. He's like, yes, like I don't have to say the line from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I at TFCon in Toronto, there's the mediator there. She's a lady, and she goes hard on people asking for monkey tricks, during panels.
Yeah.
So she kind of shuts them down. She's like, no, that's what David K calls a monkey trick, and they won't do that. And I'm kind of like that. So when I go to panels or when I do my interviews, I like to ask them about that other project that they did, and they kind of just go so bright, like Greg Berger. When I asked him to talk about his part in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, he freaking went so happy, and he talked about it at the. He really enjoyed talking about it, and everybody in the room's like, "What the hell is this?" But I'm just like, "This is fun." And Paul Hiding, the same thing. I mentioned Diablo, and he, was happy to talk about that, um, and that's the thing too. During the interview, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to be talking about because I don't have that much knowledge about the whole of the business. But with Paul Eiding for an hour, I spent 35, 40 minutes talking about his implication during the World War II when he was the leader of the Glee Club, that went around in Europe and spoke to, performed to in front of, European generals, and the mindset, like, when you have to, recruit somebody, or then you have to fire them because they don't have any talent because they're trying to, skip, like not go to war, and that person that you're going to fire is going to go back on the front line, and they might get killed. Like it's I asked him, like, how can you perform during the day and then maybe doing patrol at night and potentially get shot, or performing for people that were shot at yesterday or going to get shot tomorrow. And to me, that was fascinating. And then with Richard Newman, I've never seen a theater play in my life. We spent an hour talking about theater. Loved it. I enjoyed it so much. So, it's
I'm right there with you. If I was in that seat, like, because I was a theater kid in high school, like I was a theater technician, and that would have been the whole interview. 3 hours of talking about stage weight and flying rigs and and like stage lighting and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one.
That's the interesting parts. That's where all the fun is, when you go and you connect on something other than, do the voice or do the line. Or
and that's like, when you do these panels at like a Transformers convention, right? And you get like Greg Berger, and he's doing this panel, and every question is Grimlock this or Grimlock that, and it's just like, okay, I'm tired. Can we talk about all real monsters? Like, I understand this is a Transformers convention. I get that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care about none of that. You know,
Yeah,
like I have a chance to talk to him, and all you guys want to do is talk about Grimlock. Like,
well, that's the
let's
thing.
branch
And
out a little bit.
what pissed me off is when they ask writing questions about, like, what do you think your character would have done, or why did your character do such and such thing in this episode? And I'm like, okay, those are writing questions. So I go and I ask specifically a voice acting question, like about their technique, their process, something that's at least related to what they do. But then I watched a Flynn Dilly panel. He's a writer, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, oh, that's where all of those dumbasses should go and ask. And Dan Gilvezan is good to point that out. He's like, you want to know about that? Talk to Flynn Dilly. That's who you want to talk to. So I go to watch, like, they had videos on TFCon, the YouTube channel. So, and oh my god, the questions were even dumber. Like, people are trying to justify their own fanfic in a form of a question 50% of the time, and that
yeah.
to a writer is borderline insulting. Like, it's you should be asking me about my writing process, like it's a panel about my work, and you're trying to justify your stupid fanfic. Yeah.
Yeah, when I met Flint Dilly at TFCon, he was so gracious with his. Man, he did a panel, and I told him, and I just walked up, and I didn't really ask a lot of the question, like too many questions in the panel. It just like a bunch of like 86 movie questions and stuff that got brought up, and after the panel, I just told him, like, he was walking with, I guess, his handler or whatever, and I was like, hey man, like, I really enjoyed the panel. No critiques or anything or something like that, right? Just kind of
Yeah.
made a joke, like a witty joke or whatever. But I just wanted to say, like, thanks for doing the panel. I really enjoyed it. And I started to walk away, and he's like, wait, hold on, hey, come back. And we talked the 86 movie. We talked life. We talked Houston. We talked, like, he was so gracious with his time. I hung out with him for about like 4.5 hours that day.
Holy
And
shit.
yeah, and
Wow.
it was just like picking his brain and just talking to him, and he was like, hey man, I got like the autograph booths and stuff. He's like, you want to just come hang out with me at the autograph booth? And I was like, sure. And I was like, just kind of standing there, like, where do you want me to stand? He's like, just sit down right here. What are you talking about? Just sit down. And I was like, okay. And so here I am on the other
Wow.
side of the table with Flint Dilly, just like don't know what to do. And we're talking, Chris Latta, like his personal stories, because he was real good friends with Chris
Did he
Latta.
talk about Casey Kasem?
Oh yeah.
He didn't like him. They didn't get along at all, these guys.
They did not. Funny, I brought up Casey Kasem, and I got the words Casey Kasem out of my mouth, and before he cut me off, he's like, what are the stories you heard about Casey Kasem? And I was like, he was a bit of a dick, and he was like, okay, conversation about Casey Kasem's over, because that's right.
There you go.
But
There you go.
but yeah, he was legitimately, man. If not putting it out there to bug the man, don't do that, right? But like, out of everybody that was at TFCon that had anything to do with those movies, it was Flint Dilly and Greg Berger that were the most gracious people who worked on that movie. And I'm not talking down on anybody who worked on it or anything else, nothing like that. But I paid. Greg Berger had this thing where, like, he'd leave voicemails or call you or something, like from your phone. He would like leave a voicemail for somebody. And
Nice.
so I was like, oh, Oracle loves Grimlock, and she just watched the 86 movie for the first time in like 2019, 2018. And so I was like, yeah, we should, he does voicemails. I'll get Grimlock to leave her a voicemail. Well, he does it from your phone, not his phone, right?
Right.
So she picks up and she thinks it's me on the other end. And she's just like, I've had a long day. What do you want? And then it just it's Greg Berger, and he's just like, me, Grimlock, want to make you smile. Me, Grimlock, heard me you love Grimlock. And he talked with her for like 30 minutes as Grimlock on the phone.
Oh shit, that's a long time. That's cool.
Yeah, and his his handler or whatever that was there was like, okay, wrap it up. And he's like, he says something like, Stacy want Grimlock off phone. Grimlock tell her to shove it.
That's awesome. Oh man, Greg was one of the best interview. Flint was so interesting. The man is beyond, like, I remember I watched him for 3 hours talking with Rodimus Primal, and it was extremely interesting. And I got the chance to talk with him for an hour, and God, he's so like knowledgeable. Well, he's knowledgeable a lot about the 80s because he had to dig up a lot of that stuff for his book, which is a fantastic book. I don't know if you had a chance to read it, but The Game Masters, Almost Famous in the 80s, is a awesome book.
I'll check it. I didn't know he wrote a book.
Oh yeah. Do I have
it?
Where is it? I'm trying to see if I have it handy quickly. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. Hope everyone out in TV land's having a good day.
Yeah, that's the book. Almost Famous in the geek 80s.
Yeah, that's a badass cover, man.
Yeah, it's and that's actually the old picture. Like, they cut off the girlfriend, and that's the picture they took. So,
nice.
But yeah, so that's a great read. And he talks a whole chapter about Chris Latta, a whole chapter about Casey Kasem. And, the book starts with him, Frank Miller, who's about to write The Dark Knight. That fight like Superman versus Batman. Yeah. He's about to write that. And another guy who's another icon. And I'm like, holy, like, this is how you start your, like, he's at a cafe talking about these different projects. I'm like, doesn't get better than that, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but it's a great book. So, but hopefully he'll be, because I'm going to Orlando this October for TFCon. And I'm hoping that, basically, we're all hoping that Peter Cullen's going to make it this year because he canceled it in Baltimore. And because I have a Funko Pop that I had bought for that. I have Frank Welker signed. I, shook his hand, took pictures with Frank Welker. Greatest moment of the convention. He's so good, so fun. And then after that, I gave him my card. Of course, the handler said, "Oh, I'll take that." I'm like, okay, he's never going to see that card ever. So, but then I know I can't afford him because Anthony Haslag actually got in touch with the agent for both Frank and Peter, and for like 10 minutes, it's super expensive.
Yeah, it's like $1,500 for like 10, 15, something crazy, right?
Yeah, I think it's $500 for $500 for 10 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like US, so yeah, that's a lot of money. So I know I can't afford him, but I've been lucky. Nobody asked me for money, except Greg Berger, because he thought for a second I was a student for coaching. I'm like, no, I'm for the interview. Like, oh, sorry. Yeah. So, and then one time he butt dialed me doing his dishes. Like, I don't know how. But I'm just Greg Berger. Like, hello, and then he's just like washing and talking to his wife. I'm like, I can't hang up. Like, this is so funny. But I at some point I had to. I'm like, this is personal stuff, so I'm not gonna, So, but it was just fun.
Right.
And but yeah, we had I had yeah, I probably should try to get more more interviews, and but not just with voice actors, just like with a lot of people that are interesting out there that um want to get their story out, and just shoot the shit. So
Yeah, like screenwriters and you know uh script editors and whatever, man. Like
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, it's worked, especially for cartoons and old comics, and it's but it's I think I'm at the point where I would have to pay for IMDb Pro so I could actually reach the agent and then try to work something out. But I think that would include that I would probably have to pay for some of their time. So I'm not sure I have the budget for that. So I'll
If
still
you
think, yeah,
just start asking. I mean, if you pay for if that's your next step, if your next step is to pay for IMDb Pro to get in, like to the agents and stuff, make it worth your while, man. And just just blanket ask everybody.
yeah.
Like make an email that's generic-ish, right? That you can, basically
Oh, I have
copy
a
and paste.
template.
Yeah.
By the time I did my second interview, I had a template with links to my channel, the playlist, the other interviews, like just to make sure that it was precise, concise, clear. This is what you need to know. Boom.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. That's it. And
and it
and just
just sends
blanket
that.
that out there to everybody.
Yeah,
And it
probably I could. There's a couple people are active on Facebook that I could probably try to hit as well, so, or Instagram, and like I've seen Clancy Brown. For a while he was active on Facebook. I'm like, oh man, if I could get the freaking Kurgan on an interview, I would. Yeah, I mean, also Mr. Crab, and a lot of different voices, and
right, right.
great voice actor, and yeah. So there's a lot of people that I would want, like Michael Rosenbaum, who's having a great podcast. I'm thinking there's no chance because he's promoting his Patreon a lot, and I've seen the price on that Patreon, and yeah, it's pretty expensive. So I don't think he works for free.
Well, if you start with the free ones and you get a really good reputation at this, they
Yeah,
might just do it for free. They might just, you never know, right?
yeah. I have to really, But the thing is that I'm trying to build the show to be always at the same time. Like I could have the same thing that I did with everybody else and you right now, just half an hour by myself, and then have them be a guest on the show. But I think what I'll do is that you have two options. You can be a guest on the night shift, or we can do a one-on-one at another time of your convenience, because either is good.
Right.
So,
I mean,
bro,
if they can make David Letterman, like 11
yeah,
o'clock at night, whatever they can at every night they can, it's kind of worked around the guests, but my point is like it's the same time, like
yeah.
every night, right? So,
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff. Well, maybe back then it was live, but now it's kind of pre-recorded.
well, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah.
be the
And then
David Letterman, be the
yeah,
David Letterman of YouTube.
yeah. Oh yeah. Now he has that new show on Netflix, and like he does a couple episodes. Like now, that's my time, or my next guest. He does that on Netflix. So he's still working. Davis. That's the thing. I've been binging a lot of late night feuds. Like what happened between Jay Leno and David Letterman, and then
Mm.
what happened between Conan and Jay Leno, and then what happened with Jay Leno and Jimmy Kimmel, and then Craig Ferguson in the mix, and like Conan versus what was the other guy? He took his spot on TBS. Mexican comedian.
I have no idea. George
Um,
Lopez.
yeah, George Lopez. There you go. Like so I've been binging a lot of that on YouTube because I think these people don't talk to each other. They let all the agent do the talking, and there's so many miscommunication that they all think that everybody's trying to backstab them, and really it does. And so that's why I started to thinking I should do this type of program where I'm bringing in a guest. There's a recurring schedule. There's a I talk about I don't do a monologue because I'm not a comedian, but I do a topic, I do a bit of the news, try to make a couple of jokes about that, but it's just because I just love the late night format, which is dying. Not gonna lie, the monologue part of the any late night show right now, by the time they air, everybody on YouTube, on Facebook, or Instagram already made that joke. Like they're not new, right? By the
Yeah.
time they do their show, so it's pretty. It's a I think a dying format. So, but I said, yeah, screw it. I'll have fun with the idea and just do my own. So
That's one of like the reasons why I kind of stay off social media nowadays is because I want to be surprised when I watch a movie. I want to be surprised when I watch a monologue. I want to be surprised. As soon as you load up, as soon as I load up YouTube, it's like I get bombarded with Avengers Doomsday leaks or Spider-Man Brand New Day something or
yeah,
whatever it is, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like I want to see those movies. I'm excited for those movies. I don't care in the sense that like you're ruining it for me.
yeah,
Like and the algorithm just you like Spider-Man? Here's some brand new day behind the scenes. Never and it's like, damn it, man. Like,
yeah. Oh, it's extremely annoying. But one thing that YouTube did that's really fun for us, or actually useful, is that they demonetized everything that every channel that had fake movie trailers.
oh nice. Okay.
So like the day after Robert Downey Jr. was announced coming back as Doomsday, or Doctor Doom
Dr.
in
Doom,
Avenger
yeah.
Doomsday, there was a trailer for it. Like Tony Stark, well, RDJ in full Doctor Doom costume, and everybody's like, "Oh man, they have the trailer." I was like, "No, it's AI. It's fake trailers." And so there was so many of those that YouTube just you can't make money out of those anymore. Hopefully, people will stop watching it. But now AI is taking over. Like even I was contacted by an AI company, Higgins Field, and they offered me a paid partnership where I would use their tool to make AI videos. And I looked at it, and they were paying me for like a 6-minute video. They were willing to pay me 32 something US. I'm like, okay. But then I had to subscribe to their monthly plan for one of their tool because I had to do my video with one of their tools. So that's like $9 a month. I'm like, no, if you want to have a paid partnership, I'll use your tool, but you're going to give it to me for free, right? Like, I mean, it's it
Yeah.
because that's not a partnership. So I didn't want to do that, so I declined the offer. But then there's so many videos coming out right now. Like they had a full-on fight. The Dinobots forming Volcanicus fighting Devastator in a city. But I can spot AI super quick. I'm like, okay, no, this is wrong. There's something missing here. Like
Yeah.
it's easy to spot. I don't know if it's because I'm colorblind, but there's something that my eyes automatically recognize. Like this is AI. And
It's an uncanny valley kind of thing because I can spot it relatively easy as well. Like
yeah,
the and then there's like China just dropped something. I forgot what it's called, but it's like something 2.0 or whatever. It's like some AI engine, and it's doing like really crazy stuff. But it still looks AI. It
yeah,
looks like the people aren't bouncing around all over the place with random explosions everywhere, but you know at some point, like Snake Eyes is just floating for 2 seconds. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
well, that's fake, you know. Um, but that's why that's also one of the reasons why I just, as far as like social media or whatever, like I don't get involved as much as I was, because I'll
Yeah.
send something to a friend of mine and he'll just come back and be like, yeah, that trailer or that picture or that whatever, that's AI. It's AI slop. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really upsetting, and then there's so many fake stuff and fake everything that, it's not the Chinese Kung Fu warriors for Chinese New Year. No, I did not see the Kung Fu robots. I probably, if it's not AI, send it to me, Ken. So yeah, I mean, it's but that, for movies, we're talking about movie. There's still stuff I'm really excited that's coming in this year. Um, the Highlander movie with Henry Cavill.
Oh, the remake, yeah.
Man, I love that guy. Like, I'll watch anything he makes, and I'll stop watching anything he's recasted from. Like I
we watched Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, so like the internet for like whatever, however, 3-4 years ago, they were recasting Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, like who would play the role
yeah,
next, and they're like Henry Cavill, and I was like, that's the lamest, stupidest, weakest pick like you could possibly have. Like, what are y'all thinking? Henry Cavill, whatever, get out of here with that
yeah,
nonsense. And then he pops up in Wolverine and Deadpool as Wolverine, and I was like, okay, you
yeah,
guys fucking nailed it. Yeah, that's
yeah. The Cavalrine
the
was it was
cavalry in the
yeah,
credit. Yeah,
it was so good. Just
yeah,
with the big cigar, the big muscle, and it just punches him, you
yeah.
know. And that's one thing I have to say, that the Deadpool movie, they really did a good job for. I remember when I saw Blade, I did not expect Blade to show up in that movie at all.
Yeah.
And I teared up. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." Like, I was so happy that, they kind of buried their internet feud, like, because apparently, Wesley Snipes didn't like,
Ron
you know,
Reynolds.
they didn't really get along or something. But apparently that's over now. So, but and then seeing Elektra, and then Channing Tatum as Gambit. I still think they didn't get Gambit's power really right. Like, there was a couple things I'm like, no, he doesn't like have telekinesis, right? So, like, sometimes he would throw cards or just like have them float. I don't like that. But anyway, they did a great job of that movie, bringing Cassandra Nova,
Yeah.
and then that sequence where he's looking for a Wolverine to replace Logan. And it was so funny to see, like, Age of Apocalypse, John Barn classic cover, yeah, all those iconic stuff, and then just have them all in a sequence. Patch, it was just really well done. So I
I
hope,
wanted I
yeah,
wanted so much more time
yeah,
with Weapon X from AOA.
yeah,
I wanted that scene. I wanted like a good 10-minute scene. Like the suit, them running, fighting. I don't care, man. Like,
yeah,
something. And I was like, and then that I was like, man, maybe we can get a full on fight, like a full on movie, and we can get like Cyclops losing his eye and Wolverine, Weapon X losing his hand, and just
I, I,
all kinds of crazy
yeah,
stuff.
I think. Have you watched the series Legion,
Uh-uh.
my
No.
friend? This
Watch
is
it.
your next watch.
Okay. What's it
Oh
on?
no. If you're a remote fan of X-Men and you like the Age of Apocalypse, you know that it was caused by Legion going in the past and
Right.
then trying to kill Magneto, but ended up killing Xavier.
Right.
So that's not what the show is about. But the show Legion is about David Haller and Hadler. Anyway, the son of Xavier, and it's the first two seasons are completely messed up. Like it's hard to follow. You don't know what's real because he's a schizophrenic, psychic, drug addict, always high. It's dude. If you like anything remote X-Men, watch Legion. 3 season, completely worth it. And the Shadow King, the actor they played to play Farouk, um, or Amal Farouk, um, with the glasses, he's just not fat enough, but he's is so. The moment you see him, you're like, that's the Shadow King. No questions asked. And they did an amazing job. Like, no, dude, watch Legion.
Okay.
It's awesome, awesome, awesome series.
Disney Plus, I'm assuming.
At this, I don't know. It's not connected to the Fox universe, or there's no actors from any other franchise, like any like Fox or MCU, that it's a standalone show.
How old is the show?
I want to say 6 years, 7 years. You know,
Okay.
like it's. I know I had my kid when I watched it, so you know,
Okay.
less than 8 years, but maybe a little more. It's been a while since I. But it's a really, and they have like end of season 2. There's a fight there, like a psychic fight, and the way that they did it, it's so beautiful. It's so perfectly amazing. Like you're like, oh, they're fighting in their brain right now. And every combat is a different way to do it. Like throughout the show, when they have like psychic fight, it's imagery. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. It's fantastic. It's kind of hard to understand. It's creepy. It's scary. It's funny. It's oh man, it's one of the best show I ever watched.
Okay. I'm gonna find it on Blu-ray or something. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's really worth it. So, but yeah. So anyway, movies. I'm excited about that. I have to say, as much as I don't consume Disney products anymore, the stuff I'm seeing about it, nostalgia, right? You know me. Nostalgia is what drives me. And that trailer they did with Professor Xavier and Magneto in the X Mansion,
Oh, dude, yes.
and then at the end, and maybe I'm too sensitive now as I'm getting older, and I mean, probably I should see a therapist. But when I saw Cyclops just go full optic blast with the blue suit, I just went so emotional. Like, finally, James Marsden is gonna get an actual, probably good moment, because I think the way Cyclops was written in the X-Men movie was wrong. Like, it was okay with the black suit, and he was the leader, but you didn't see his tactical commanding skills. You didn't see like how he's able to bring a team together.
Right.
He's good at assessing that his team members are not doing well. Like he was not that in the movies. So I'm hopefully now they're gonna do something with him that's gonna be worth it.
But the biggest thing about that part of the trailer, that there's two things that stood out to me. His visor isn't gold, his visor's silver on that suit. And I was like, damn. Like it doesn't match. Like it's not full
Yeah.
comic accurate, right? But I was like, but I really like the clash of the silver against like the yellow and the blue and all.
Yeah.
I really like the way that visor looked. But then like the Sentinel walking in the background behind him,
Ah,
I was like, come on, man.
that's
What is
an
going
actual
on?
Sentinel. Like, it's not like, no offense to the Age of Apocalypse. No, the Days of Future Past movie, they had the Sentinels, which were really deadly. And
Yeah.
then, but the one that they had in the past were kind of like, they weren't they weren't comic accurate, right? It didn't really work. But seeing what we saw in the back of the screen, I'm like, oh man, if we can get like good Sentinels, like, love Sentinels. So
I just
yeah.
I hope there's a scene from the 90s X-Men cartoon that has stuck with me since I was like 8 years old when I first saw it. And it's the like Cyclops shows up and they're saving Jubilee or whatever. It's in like the first
Yeah,
or
yeah.
second episode. and Sentinel shoots at Cyclops, and then Cyclops just looks up and he's like, "Energy blast, huh? Here's one from a pro," and he just annihilates the fucking thing.
Just slices that off one blast.
And I'm like, dude, give me some. I want that line right before the fight starts.
Yeah.
Right? Like a Sentinel's targeting something or other, is off, shoots, lands at his feet. Cyclops doesn't move, and he says the line, and then they go in, and then whatever happens, happens. You know, like I hope that line is in there.
I really hope that they do really well, because there's gonna be a lot of characters in that Doomsday movie, right? Like, I mean, you have the Fantastic Four, which I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Love that movie.
It's really good. I went and I actually made a mistake. I went to see it in French, of all fucking mistakes I could make. But I think the lady at the counter just gave me anyway. So I watched it. It's a great movie, and it's an actual Galactus this time. You know, like, it's worth my time to watch this guy walk in the streets of 1950s New York, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, they're from another dimension, I'm guessing, or parallel universe.
Yeah.
Because you see them at the end of Thunderbolts. Yeah. I did watch the Thunderbolt movie for free, so I don't pay for Disney stuff. But I saw the Thunderbolt movie, and at the end, there's their spaceship flies, you know, like, enters our atmosphere.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah, I mean, you have the Fantastic Four, you have the Avengers, you have the X-Men. Who else are they gonna bring back too? You know, like, because now there's another there's the Secret Wars movie also coming. And
that's after Doomsday.
Yeah, it's after Doomsday, but that's Hugh Jackman, Tobey Maguire, and Daredevil Ben Affleck. Apparently.
What?
I'm thinking that was a fake post, but Secret Wars has been long time rumored, and I think now it's confirmed that it's Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman leading.
See, that's crazy, because that's Battle World, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you know, symbiote Spider-Man. That's Rhodes Iron Man. You know, like, that's.
Yeah, I have that book right here, but I think they're gonna go more with the animated Spider-Man version of that. Remember?
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe, yeah, all the Spider-Man. That's the thing. I think, you know, Secret Wars is gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna do the actual Beyonder, because we haven't seen Molecule Man yet. So unless it was part of Agent of Shield, I don't know. But yeah,
I don't think do they count Agents of Shield?
I think it's been written off as not canon now. Like, I think they decided, because I mean, it was linked to Thor 2.
Yeah.
So, but apparently now it's like some parallel universe, or, you know. So yeah,
that's crazy, because I heard Charlie Cox is signed on to be Daredevil in Spider-Man Brand New Day. At least some sort of cameo or something, right? So I think that'd be kind of crazy to see Ben Affleck and Charlie Cox, you know, Daredevil suits and everything, side by side, you know, fighting it out, slugging it out with, you know, whoever they're fighting against or something, right?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Imagine they bring back Colin Farrell. You know,
I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I'd be so down for that. He played a badass Bullseye.
Oh yeah, he was good. Too bad he didn't have the suit, like the actual costume with the bullseye, like he had that scar thing. But he did a good job. And, you know, Elektra had her moment in the Deadpool movie, so why not bring back Affleck? Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people gave shit to Affleck and Daredevil. It's not his fault. I think the writing wasn't that great. Same thing with the second event, like DC Justice League movie. You know, like not the Snyder cut, but the one that came before that.
Right.
The writing was terrible, and Affleck, you know, followed the script, and it gave us a pussy Batman who's actually worried about Clark. And you know it's
that Justice League movie was it kind of sums up how the Snyder cut of that film sums up how terrible the original version of that movie was, because the Snyder cut adds like what 45 minutes something.
Oh, more than that. It's 4 hours.
Yeah, it's an absurd length of time that's added to that movie that
Yeah.
makes that movie so much better.
Yeah.
It just overall, and just how badly that first cut of that film got butchered and cut
Yeah.
down. And
The fact that the studio went, you know what? We're going to re-release the same movie a year later. Yeah. I mean, I think they wanted to make their money back, and hopefully they did. There's one scene I preferred in the original was when Aquaman drops that sailor in the bar and leaves with the bottle, and they had some like good heavy metal as the wave comes in and takes him away. And then in the Snyder cut, it's like some Mozart shit. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, he's not a Mozart character. He's a heavy metal, heavy drinking guy, you know? So,
yeah.
So, have you seen him, the screenshots of him in for the Supergirl movie, though?
Dude, him
As
as Lobo.
Fuck yeah.
Man, that Superman movie. I love that Superman movie.
I did. It was really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And Supergirl popping up at the end was just like the cherry on the cake, so to speak, for me. Like,
I don't get though why people were so excited about that girl. Like, I don't know the actress, so I don't know. Maybe there's a reason, but I mean, it was fun, and they went with the angle where she's like she goes to a planet with a red sun to get drunk. That's a teenager move, like that. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Well thought of. So I'm looking forward to but when I saw Jason as freaking Lobo, I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's
the only other guy I would have liked to seen as Lobo was in the late 90s, Rob Zombie. That would have been interesting to see, like with the paint the kind of face paint he had when he did the Dragula CD.
Oh yeah,
that would have.
Yeah, everywhere he like Lobo on his bike, they would always have to be playing Dragula every time he pulled up.
Yeah, that would be funny as hell. Yeah, I'd love to see that. So yeah, I mean, there's the Secret Wars thing. Hopefully, it's gonna be more. I think it's gonna be more of the Spider-Man version, like the animated version. But maybe if it's like a tie-in with Doomsday, like after, so maybe Doomsday. It looks like Doomsday is gonna end poorly for the heroes, right? Like that's what I'm thinking, and then it's gonna go to Secret Wars. I know I'm gonna draw tons of comparison with Secret War, with the books, because I've read that book many times. I did not read like what came later, like the Secret Wars, where they had like a new version. I didn't read that, so I didn't even,
I'm kind of curious because they did like it was called Secret War in like 2006 or something.
Yeah, I didn't read that.
Yeah, read that. That's actually really good.
Oh, okay. All right.
But there's that they could pull something from that as far as like suits and kind of maybe part of the story to kind of connect, like maybe connect Doomsday with Secret Wars or something like that. But I do know they did like Secret Wars 2016, I think it was, or something. And it was led by like Carol Danvers was on the team, like Captain Marvel.
Okay.
They could. That's what I'm thinking they're going to pull heavily from. I think Secret Wars, because if you watch Venom 3, the symbiote piece gets left behind, and I think that they haven't connected that yet. So Spider-Man, Tom Holland might actually get some sort of symbiote suit in Secret Wars.
Well, I think from what I remember from the comics, the reason why the Venom symbiote was imprisoned in Secret Wars, when you just see that black goop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a time travel comic with Deadpool. And the fact that Deadpool merged with the symbiote for a while, it went insane. And that's why they had to imprison Venom.
Okay.
That's and that so I think with Tom Holland, yeah, I think that's because he went to our universe at the bar in the our but the in the MCU with Spider-Man, and they left a piece of the symbiote. Maybe that's gonna happen in either in Brand New Day. He's gonna get the symbiote, or maybe that's gonna wait until Secret Wars.
I think you should wait for Secret Wars because that's like the biggest plot in
Wow,
that
that's a
whole.
name from the past. Curtis Schultz. I haven't seen that name in a long time, man. How you
Right? What's
doing?
up, man? You been all right?
It's great to see you, man. It's
Yeah.
been fucking long time.
Yeah, man. Hope you've been all right, Curtis.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping for to the night shift, man. That's cool. Oh, and actually, just we were talking about Ultra Marcus. Saw him in the chat on Transformers, the show this afternoon. I'm like, dude, you've been gone for that, but he didn't reply to me. But he's been off the YouTube for 3 years now.
Yeah,
So
he's been MIA for a hot minute
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, but I think he pops in the chat once in a while on the Transformers, the show. So anyway, but yeah, the what were we saying about the Secret Wars and everything, and I think I'm gonna have to go see those movies now. Like with if they have Venom in Doomsday, or maybe it's gonna be like is there gonna be a new in I always forget the name Brand New Day because I hate that title Brand New Day
Oh,
for
I hate
one
that. I
reason.
hate that comic. But yeah,
I hate it when Mephisto buys Mary Jane and Peter's love so
yeah,
that they don't remember that they were married. So that brings back Aunt May for that freaking. I have the entire Clone War saga. She died in the 90s, man. And
yeah,
she's still alive today, So,
yeah. She died at like the beginning of the Clone Saga, like
yeah,
10 issues into that book, she
yeah.
dies.
I bought the I have the two, like volume 1 and volume 2 of the Clone Saga, and then the Ben Riley Spider-Man saga. I have
Yeah,
like all those issues, and it's probably my favorite series of Spider-Man. A lot of people were saying it was too complicated, too convoluted. You didn't know who was what, but Kane was an awesome character in that saga. Like
yeah, he was.
I have it's one the only 3 Spider-Man figures I have with my limited Marvel collection is Kane, Ben Riley Scarlet Spider, and Ben Riley Spider-Man. I don't even have a Peter Parker. So, but I would love to I would love to have a Scarlet Spider on screen. That would make me really happy.
Man,
Imagine that because we had it in the animated movie, right? The
series, yeah,
Spider-Man animated series, the Secret Wars, and after that they kind of had the Clone Wars, like the not Clone Wars, but the Clone Saga, and they had a Ben Riley in there, like Peter Parker that shaved his head and dyed his hair blonde, and like it was. I hope they would bring that somehow.
you could do. Okay, I just wrote that whole movie for you. Okay, so check
Okay.
this out. Okay, so you do the original Clone Saga from the 70s as the movie. You replace Gwen Stacy with Mary Jane or whatever. Not what do they call? It's not the MJ. What's her name in the
Oh,
movie?
that's Michelle Jones.
Yeah. So you put her in there instead of Gwen Stacy. You basically do the entire story panel for panel, with the jackal, with all that stuff, right? And then at the end, oh my god, the clone's dead or whatever, and then they go off on their date, and then you just see like like the Spider-Man in a blue hoodie essentially just land on a gargoyle, and then like he just kind of pulls up the hood and then swings off. There you go,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
that sets it up.
exactly. I would love to see, because that's the thing. I my wife is stopping me from, but there's a sports jacket, sleeveless hoodie of the Scarlet Spider. I'm like,
Yeah.
when are you gonna wear that? I'm like, never, but I want it. It's like,
If if Houston, if we had actual winter here and not 2 weeks of semi chilly weather,
yeah,
I would buy that hoodie and I would wear it everywhere. Like
yeah.
when it's cold, I
Well,
would
it's
not
more of a
care.
workout hoodie. I think you could probably, it probably would work. Like, I don't think it's like super warm. I think it's really just like it's not a jacket, but it's like a sleeveless hoodie.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what? Let's find it. I wanna. Okay, so Scarlet.
I couldn't wear stuff like that when I work out because like I'd be like I'm fucking Spider-Man. Spider-Man pushes his limits. I got to push my limit.
Yeah, at the gym it would have been really nice. If I
Yeah.
go shopping, maybe. Man, I hate. I'm using Brave now, so every time I do a search, it's not with Google, it's with their Brave engine, and it's shit.
But at least
So,
they don't spy on you and keep your data and everything.
yeah, well, yeah, like they're gonna do that. Hold on. Where's the shopping? I don't know if I can get the same version I'm seeing everywhere. Yeah, yeah. No, that's not it. When I see it on, like, it's always on my Facebook ads. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
But it's a really nice hoodie. But yeah, so there's a lot of hope for that new Spider-Man movie where they might do, like, introduce Venom. But then Daredevil's in there, so that's gonna be interesting. Because they do have a good friendship in the comics, Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that would be I would, you know, I have hopes that this movie is gonna be good because they haven't made a bad movie with Holland yet. Like, they're all good.
No, they really have even the second one. Like I'm not the big like the Mysterio. What was that one
Yeah,
like? Too
I
far
hate.
away from the house or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
Um, like
far away from the house. Yeah, far from home. Yeah,
yeah, far from home. Look, I'm just gonna say it. Name them Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Stop
yeah,
with this down the block from the house, 2 streets over from the house. Like just like I can't follow it, right? Like
yeah. It's Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Now it's Brand New Day. So
yeah.
then after that's gonna be the day after tomorrow, and then you're gonna have, like, yesterday's news. So it's,
It's it's like the Rocky movies, man. It's like when you get to Rocky 6, it's just Rocky.
yeah,
Fuck
exactly. It,
happened
it
part 6?
resets. That's the thing. It resets. So yeah, it's just oh, okay. Planning on being in the Austin area to see the Mando movie with my adult kids. Oh yeah, there's a new Mandalorian movie. I've seen a couple of things, but that's a one franchise I'm completely out. It's Star Wars. Can't do it.
Mm.
Can't do it anymore. I don't want to see anything. No new shows. No. Ugh, I'm done with anything Star Wars. So I'll pop in my DVDs and watch the old ones any day, but I can't anymore. So, but yeah, I'm hopeful that Brand New Day is going to be interesting. Doomsday, it's gonna be. I mean, they pulled off Avengers Endgame with 1,000 characters on screen, and it made sense. So
Right.
hopefully, but now there's a new team, the Thunderbolts. Um, I hope they don't bring in Captain Marvel again because they messed her up so badly in the Marvel. I didn't even watch it. It's the greatest flop in the MCU was the Marvels. Um, with Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers and that other little girl. I hope,
America Chavez.
yeah. So I hope we don't see them ever again. We don't need them. But I want to see Ant Man. I want to see a bunch of stuff fighting off Doctor Doom. Uh, which I hope is not a Tony Stark from another universe. Like that's what I'm afraid is going to be, because
Yeah.
I think it's lazy to cast RDJ again as a Doctor Doom. Um, but if he's an actual Victor Von Doom, he's gonna bring it.
Yeah.
So so it sounds.
As long for me, there have been stories where Doom takes over people's bodies and everything else for
Yeah,
however long. As long as they bring the heat with Doom, because Doom, I feel like, is Doom's the one guy that everybody in the Marvel universe is afraid of.
dude, Thanos keep tabs on Doom.
Yeah.
Like it's that's the level of dangerousness Doom has. And that and a lot of people in the late 90s were complaining that the Fantastic Four weren't that's why they did the Onslaught saga to kill off a lot of superheroes, and then they did Heroes Reborn, and because they weren't popular. But people don't realize how stronger the Fantastic Four are than the Avengers and the X-Men, because they have to meet Doom every freaking second Thursday, to
Yeah.
thwart him. And they're really powerful. I mean, granted, the Hulk is stronger than Thing, and maybe there's characters who are stronger than Mr. Fantastic, but the Invisible Woman, like a lot of people are saying, like Jean Grey is on par with the Invisible Woman. She is not. Like Phoenix, granted, that's a whole other ball game. But if you have just Jean Grey with her TK power against the Invisible Woman, she doesn't stand a chance. She's extremely powerful, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that uh, the fact that they're bringing the Fantastic Four and all of that stuff, I hope it's not too busy. Like a bad example of a too busy movie is Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh,
Too
that
many
movie was great.
fighters, no background, no character growth, except Liu Kang who turns into a dragon, which was shit. And I love that movie. It's still good action, but it's a terribly written movie. So that's
Yeah.
a good example of a bad way to bring in too many characters. So, but they did
See,
it well with the Avengers Endgame and so there's hope. And then Secret Wars, if they do focus on teams led by Wolverine, like Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be interested in seeing that.
the branch off stuff that they could do with any of this stuff is incredible, right? Because
Yeah,
at the I'm not gonna spoiler like I'm not gonna give spoilers or anything for Fantastic Four because you should go watch that movie. Um,
yeah, it's fantastic.
but there's openings because of that movie. There's openings for Onslaught. There's openings.
Oh, oh, fuck! I didn't piece it together.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
God, you do. Oh, Oh man, would be so awesome.
dude. There's openings for Onslaught. There's
But
openings for X Force, an X Force movie, like the silver and black costume X Force. Um,
but I mean,
there.
there's a chance for. Well, in Deadpool they had Cable, so you
Yep.
could really have an Onslaught saga. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. You really could. You really could. And everyone. And as far as like the X-Men now, everyone's like, all the like the directors or whoever like showrunners and stuff. They're like, this is the turning point for like the Fox's X-Men, and well, what was the turning point for X-Men Onslaught?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they
Uh.
were increasingly popular as the sales decreased of Avengers, Fantastic Four,
Right.
and that was just a way to, you know, really put them on the top stage,
Yeah.
with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is the only one that actually did that. One of the few non-mutant, him and Hulk, that were in not destroyed by Onslaught.
Yeah.
But Bruce Banner was that because they separated, like Gene separated Banner and Hulk. Hulk was left behind, but Banner went into the stream of energy to kill Onslaught. So so you could, oh man, you have all the piece now to have Onslaught, like done differently, because the stories told so far don't really line up with that. But you could have, oh, you know what? Ian McKellen yesterday. Oh fuck, man. I'm getting too hopeful. I saw a clip of Ian McKellen yesterday saying that in Doomsday he was shooting a scene, and he mentioned that he's standing and acting, and he does the hand wave, and he's acting that he's destroying New Jersey. Fuck, man, we have everything. Magneto goes too far. Xavier shuts his brain down.
Yep.
And then we get the seed of Onslaught, and oh my god, we totally could have an Onslaught saga. I have the Onslaught saga here. I just read it like 3 months ago. Man, you just made my day. I'm hopeful. Yeah. Oh, and then wasn't Juggernaut going to be in an upcoming film? But he was already in the Deadpool movie, so you could explain that. And then we'll be back again. X-Force. Yeah, but I don't like I didn't read the Wolverine X-Force.
Oh, you have to read it.
No, I know it's really, I'm sure it's good. It's just I realized as I'm buying books, once in a while, like, eBay stuff, because I don't want to pay Disney. I'm really more of a Cable fan now.
Okay.
He's my guy. I have when he's born. I have when he's stolen. I have when he comes back for the first time with the New Mutants. I have all the milestone story of Cable. So I would really like to see Josh Brolin come back.
Yeah,
because he did a good job.
He did a fantastic job. Like,
yeah.
he's like the only other actor in any of those X-Men movies that was like, he's the wrong size for the character, but damn, did he make it like they make that character him, his own.
He did. And he had a good use of his limited telekinesis, like, just a couple shields, and and they didn't play too much on his telepathy, but it's, and then he had the professor on his arm, like the computer, and it was just, he did it, man. And I was kind of sad that he wasn't in the next movie. I would have loved to see a Deadpool Wolverine Cable fight scene.
That's the next Deadpool movie. It's going to be Deadpool and Cable.
Hopefully.
It has to be.
Yeah, but I don't know how long Reynolds is going to want to keep playing Deadpool.
He did an interview like a year or so ago, after or a year, I shouldn't say a year ago, but it was like a year after the Deadpool Wolverine movie came out.
Yeah.
And he said that, like, Deadpool is an extremely taxing character because he writes the movies, he writes the lines, he does, the costume, like the fitting and everything, right? Like, he has to get in like Deadpool's headspace, and he was just explaining how taxing of a character it is for him to do. And he was like, I think at the end of the interview, he said something like, yeah, every like 4 to 5 years, a Deadpool movie is, that works.
Well, that's the thing. So if they do another one, he could get good writers to do that for him, but I think he wants to be really hands-on with the character.
And I think, and that's a good call, because I mean, Fox ruined that character originally, and then he basically begged and pleaded to have it be rated R, and the first one to be rated R, and I think he wants to be in control as much as possible, because he's seen what studio interference looks like, and I don't think he's got such a love for that character. He doesn't want that character to
Yeah,
be, you know.
he did a great job with at bringing him. Like he leaked the trailer, like the first trailer. Like everybody's like, oh, he's joking. He said he's 70% sure that he's the one who leaked the trailer. I'm 100% sure that that's him.
Yeah.
Like he leaked the first trailer with Stan Lee, which was freaking amazing. Like, aren't you supposed to be green? Shut up, Stan Lee. So it's just iconic. And then he's in that phone booth trying to get dressed. It's just so stupid. But
I
then,
mean, he does stupid stuff with that character. Remember that Fred Savage commercial
oh
where
yeah,
the
oh yeah,
Nickelback,
the Nickelback thing, like 70, 70 weeks at the top one, and all those like statistics about Nickelback, and it was just no, he's the guy for the part, and I think it's it's going to be interesting to see him interact in Doomsday because I know he's in there.
yeah.
So, but that I don't think he's going to have that many hands on. Maybe he's going to ad lib a few things that's going to make the cut, but so hopefully they're going to do a good job. Like I'm hopeful, and hopefully that's going to pay off. Or maybe I'll be super disappointed again. I don't know.
I've got honestly, man, I've got nothing but like faith in this movie that it's going to work because aside from like maybe two MCU movies being bad and Agents of Shield just being like a really boring suck ass show and using the wrong Ghost Rider. Yeah, they've like they've had my point is like they've had like 90% successes and
Yeah.
and good stories like in terms of like superhero stories and adapting these characters and stuff. So um I don't think Doomsday is going to be uh a bad movie at all. I think they're definitely gonna stick the landing.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for the new Spider-Man Noir series?
Oh my god, dude, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think to have Nicolas Cage play a version of Ben Reilly in the 1920s ish,
Yeah.
as a private investigator who wears a mask and beat people up. Yep. I mean, it's that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to hack because I think it's coming on Prime, right?
Yeah, it's an Amazon Prime show.
Yeah. So thank God for that. I don't have to pay for Disney Plus.
I'll probably depending on how it's released, because I don't know if they're dropping like all episodes at the same
Prime
time.
is a weekly schedule.
Fuck. I hate that, dude. If I'm paying for streaming, just give it to me all at once.
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up buying like some bootleg Blu-rays from China or something with the whole show on it.
Yeah.
And watch it, 9 weeks after it came out or something like that. But I watched like when that comic came out originally, I was like, Spider-Man, 1930s, PI.
Yeah.
I'm down for this. Let's check this out. And I read it. I
didn't get the chance to read it. I should probably look for that, like the whole noir thing, like because I know the X-Men were like gangsters, like mafia, and then who else was had the noir treatment?
Oh, who else was in there? You had
probably Daredevil.
Daredevil had, if I remember right, Kingpin had a noir treatment as well. Black Cat had the noir treatment. That was
that makes
that
sense.
was done really well.
I wonder if we're gonna see her. Oh no, she is in the next movie. Black Cat is in Brand New Day.
Oh, don't tell me that.
I'm pretty sure that she is.
Come on now. Who's playing Felicia Hardy?
Oh, okay, hold on. Let's Felicia IMDb first. That's always a good spot to start. IMDb Brand New Day.
She could have her own movie, man. You could start that movie off with, just basically the cat raising a daughter, and then Felicia finds out her dad is like a burglar and then goes to jail and all this other kind of stuff. And then the sequel can be like 20 years later, and the sequel will be called The Black Cat.
Oh shit, the Punisher's in there. John Bernthal is in Brand
He's
New
in
Day.
Brand New Day.
Mark Ruffalo as well as Bruce Banner. Zendaya. Okay, so they are bringing back Zendaya and Jacob Batalon, like his friends who forgot that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, they have Kargan. Tombstone. Yeah, Tombstone's going to be the main villain. And
for Brand New Day? Oh, dude.
Yeah, Tombstone.
I hope we get a scene. I know this sounds bad, but I hope we get a scene where Tombstone beats the snot out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it'd be nice. There's a couple actors like Sadie Sink. Oh, I think Sadie Sink. She's the girl who played Max in Stranger Things. I think
okay. They're doing like a really young Felicia Hardy then.
Yeah, because the other actress who's listed with no characters is Liza Colon-Zayas, and she's not young enough.
Okay.
So anyway, they haven't released all the cast yet. Not on IMDb anyway. So hopefully, oh no, she could be like, she's a redhead. She could be an actual Mary Jane. Well, we'll see. We'll whenever it comes out. But still, the movie I'm still the most excited about is The Highlander. I have to go back and watch. You know what? Christopher Lambert is on Facebook. I should probably send him a message.
There you go. Message him and see what. And then ask him why the Highlander movies went to shit.
No, I will not ask him such a blatant attack question. But you know what? A lot of people hate combat. That's he made that movie.
Yeah, he did.
But the a lot of people didn't like the second movie of Highlander, like it's kind of written off canon. I loved it. I love the fact that it's that the immortals were from the planet Zeist, and that they knew each other before they were reborn on Earth, and that people on that planet are worried that McLeod has obtained the prize, and now they send other people to kill him. That's because of that he's young again. And it was a cheesy 80s 90s flick, but it was so freaking cool. I loved it.
I only watched I remember watching the first one, loving it, and then like in high school going back and rewatching it. And then like Highlander, the first Highlander has always been like a staple somewhere of like my movie fandomness or whatever you want to call that. And I remember watching the second one. I've seen the second one like twice, and I never had a problem with it.
Yeah,
I did always kind of feel like it was like an inferior sequel, but then again, almost every sequel is that.
Yeah.
But I really didn't have an issue with it. And then I remember Highlander 3 finally watching it in high school with a buddy of mine because he had it. And that was one of the things that like we became friends over, was like the first Highlander movie. And and go over to his house. We have like this movie night, and he's like, "Okay, well, that's all of them." And I was like, "Well, didn't they make a third one?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "But it's right." I was like, "It's right there. We got to watch it." And he's like, "There is no Highlander 3."
Yeah, it's not that great of a movie. But then the fourth one, okay, I think it's the biggest piss off for a movie trailer that I've ever experienced. The fourth one was bridging the gap or bringing the series and the movies together, right? So you had Connor McLeod and Duncan McLeod together. That's cool. It's, everybody was excited. And then in the trailer, they show that this new immortal is like super powerful. And you see Duncan slice him in two. And then he just kind of glues back together, and then he
Yeah.
throws a fireball at Duncan. I'm like, holy shit, this is next level. Wow. I want to see that. Go to see the movie in theater. Not there. That scene has been cut. Both scenes. We're not seeing it. I'm like, okay, shit. Shut up, Quentin. Come on, man. You can't be serious. The animated series, they had nobody cutting heads. I respect your opinion. I love that you support my channel, but I I was so disappointed with the animated series because there was no head cutting. Now they had jetators transferring you their power. Um, so anyway, sorry, I don't want to. It's just sorry, you prompted something. So anyway, so I watched the movie in theaters. It's not there. Then the DVD comes out, and then the trailer says, "Oh, and added the deleted footage," and then they show again the fireball and the guy being sliced in two and gluing back together. I'm like, okay, go. I go rent the movie. Thank God I didn't buy it. I rent it. It's not in the movie. I go in the deleted scene. It's not there. They, so I've never seen the context of how that happened.
I I don't know, man. Is it on like is it on a 4K now with like somewhere in the bonus features where,
Probably.
where they
It's just
talk
that
about it?
it's just that I never got the chance, or maybe the the uh blockbuster version was different than what you could buy, let's say at Walmart, and that the Walmart version had the because I know they don't have the same releases sometime between what you could rent or see on a plane and what they would sell in store. So maybe that's
They did do that quite a bit actually back then. So like just like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or something would get their own version of the movie.
I
Um
like it. Sorry, sorry, Quentin. I like I said, it's a great name. Like it, the Quentin McLeod was a great name, and I respect. If you like this, like anything, if you like something, you win. So it wasn't my favorite. I needed more head cutting, but sorry.
I mean that's kind of that's
Yeah,
kind of what excuse me, that's kind of what the series is known for, right? It's
yeah,
like
exactly. The Source was the fifth movie. I remember that. I never watched it, but it was kind of like the Immortals. The premise was the Immortals are looking for their version of the Holy Grail. Correct me if I'm wrong, Quentin. I think that's the premise of it, and that's with Adrian Paul, and it's like a continuation of with the actors from the series. So yeah, it's a great franchise that it's a great idea that was exploited a little wrongfully, I think. Like at some point,
yeah.
they didn't have great writers to work that stuff in, but the new version with Calville is going to be amazing.
I've really got hopes for it. I am kind of hesitant a little bit because I hope they don't I hope it doesn't end on some sort of cliffhanger and then it never like the cliffhanger never gets answered or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Um I think if they're going to do it, make it the one film and it can and the movie can kind of stand alone on its own and then
yeah.
that's and then if you want to go back and do another one or whatever, that's fine.
That's the thing. Don't promise us because I mean, if they do the first movie, really at the end, he's the one, right? Like
Yeah.
he killed everybody else. He's the last immortal. Sorry, he gets the prize. So yeah, I think I would prefer a standalone movie, and then something different afterwards. I don't know.
And then
Well,
an animated series.
well, yeah, okay, maybe, maybe. Sorry, like I said, I mean the first animated series, I was really looking forward to it, and they had a good story. They really did have a good story of how people were oppressed by immortals, or at least one immortal, and that they were preserving their cultures through dance and their fighting techniques. Like it was an interesting concept, And then you had a young immortal who hadn't lived through what we call civilization. He's always been part of this wasteland, and now he's discovering guns. And he
Yeah.
accidentally shoots his sister in the arm, and like they had a good moment. It's just not enough head cutting. All the last. Okay, hold on. All the last of the immortals seek the origin of their power to be like a god or something like that. Yeah, so basically going back to Zeist. Zeist is the where they're from. Anyway, their origin of their power. But that's been written off. Everything else after the second movie. So anyway, we'll see. Man, we're gonna wrap this up because I didn't realize, but we've been talking for 2 hours.
Hey, that's okay, man. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's like the good old days. So
Yeah, time
um,
flies.
I'm glad we caught up. It was really fun.
I agree. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hold on. I'm just gonna make sure you're not gonna appear in the there we go. Because when I do the outro, sometimes people like their picture is gonna stay there and it looks terrible. So hold on. So thanks for watching, everyone. It's if you've man, I'm so tired. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Also leave a comment. We love reading those. Keep coming back. We have more on the way. And remember that nothing in life gives you a right to be an asshole. Take care. And then I do this.